So today is the era of machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence, like big data, Spark. So there is, like, if you consider year 2020 with year 2000, so there has been a drastic change in the IT industry, and hence we also require, like, to make changes in the way we test our products. So hi friends, this is Anand Goyal. Welcome back to host-tune-perform.com. Today we will be talking about the performance testing trends for the year 2020, and like there are some basic changes which have to be made to make sure that the product is going like in the right direction. So like in today's world, like most of the products are made on clusters. So what exactly clusters? Like clusters are the connection of a lot of machines in which, like, each of the machine has a different software which may be built on a different technology. So you might be using a cluster, and like there can be a scenario like your computer architect may design your clusters in some way. So like why exactly I am building up this video for today is like to make sure that you understand how exactly you need to progress on your performance testing like trends. So the first point is you need to shift left. So that means that you need to take an approach of performance driven development. So like previously people used to do performance testing after building up the product. So at that time there were like only like 3 machines or 4 machines, and people used to develop system via LAMP or WAMP only. But in today's world, like whenever you are going for a product development, and like I am talking about the development of big products, maybe a banking software, maybe like a library, a big library management software, or a hospital software. So there can be a lot of other like areas where like people are using big products and like make use of clusters. Then like if you're doing like making a product which is like that much huge, so then it is necessary for you to plan the performance testing for that particular product from very beginning. So this is what it is meant by performance driven development. So whenever your like architect is designing up your product, you should always take an advice of your performance engineer. Let him pitch in and like let him see like what all technologies are being used, how they are being connected, how the data will move from one system to another system, what kind of network will be used, what will be the bandwidth, and like similarly there will be many other aspects. But yes, all these aspects should be covered from the very first day, which is exactly is meant by performance driven development. So the next thing which you should consider like for a product is like just making sure that your performance engineer does not like give you a solution saying that increase the hardware resources. So like in 90% of the cases I have seen the performance engineers just giving up this solution. Whenever the system slows down, what he or she will suggest to you is like increase the RAM, increase the CPU, or increase the hardware. So like this is a way, like whenever your like system goes down, there are only 2 ways by which you can improve the performance of your system. One is by increasing the hardware, and second by performance tuning it. So in today's world, like obviously like people use commodity hardware and it is very cheap, but still like the actual like the performance and good response time cannot be achieved until your like performance engineer actually understands the technology behind your product. So if you are building up a product in a cluster where you are using some various kinds of technologies, say Node.js or then Angular, then Reactive, then you are also using Spark maybe. So there can be a combination of different technologies. So your performance engineer should understand the architecture of all of them and should be able to like tune them. So there are configuration settings for each one of them, and like you can like go ahead and like study on the configuration settings for these technologies and like understand how exactly you need to improve the performance rather than just like increasing the hardware. Third is like you should work on also getting up the page load time. So what exactly this means is like whenever you say that you are performance testing up your system, like basically in most of the cases, again, people used to like this was something like which used to happen in 2004 2005, but in today's era like it is very important for you to even test the browser side. So browser side performance testing should always be done by a single like user. So it does not require load, it should always be done by a single user. Why? Because the browser is always used by the client and the client is always one, and servers requires the load, but even with that one user, your system can go very slow, because in like today's technologies world, like we use Angular, then we use reactive, and then we make a lot of loops, then we make sure that a lot of code runs on the browser itself. So when these things are happening, you need to make sure that the browser page load time is also good. So I will just reiterate myself, like whenever we talk about the response time is a time when you send in the request to the server and you get the like first byte of the response. This is how like the load runner captures the response time, and like after you get the response, it like this response is being like taken by the browser, and then the browser like does its job. It may place it somewhere as required, or it may like run some code over it as required. So that part, if we like bifurcate these two things, then that part is done by a single user itself. And but like if you are running an Angular or reactive code which is running on the browser itself, then you need to make sure that your browser page load time is also tested. Then one more thing like which I have seen in major cases is like people develop a performance scenarios in which they say that I am putting a load of 50 users. That is right. So you are creating a software in which you have done a test for 50 simultaneous users, but your database is empty. So obviously you will get a response quickly. Like for example, you are like having a software for your medical like hospital, for an hospital, then this hospital does not has any prior data. Then the software will run fast, but after an year when the same hospital will have a lot of PDF files or a lot of images, lot of doctors who have already registered on your system, then the same test of 50 users will take more time. So people forget to like make sure that they have the said volume of data with the said load of data. So the amount of data which is in the system is also necessary to be huge. You should make sure that the amount of data which you have, you take it at least to a point which covers like 2-3 years ahead of what you expect right now. Then the next point which says is like resilient test. So in current scenario, in the like COVID-19 scenario, we have already seen this, that we have a huge traffic on various COVID-19 sites, and like this is the peak time. So we need to make sure that our system does not go slow during this peak time, or when it goes slows, and like or maybe when it shut down, how much time it is taking to like getting up again. So the best thing which you can do over here is like make use of Docker, or like the container system, which is like being used very rigorously in the industry now. Like people are using Docker and Kubernetes very rigorously. So you could like go ahead with Docker and Kubernetes, and like this will make sure that your system can be like made up anytime as and when required. So it will just require a click, and like Docker works on a layer system. So that is a very fast system, because it does not like requires the complete image of the product, it just requires the add-ons. So you do not require to go very deep into it right now, but yes, you need to make sure as a business like owner, you need to make sure that your product is capable of being like getting up very fast even when it goes down. So the next point is like you should always make sure that you run the performance test in the CI/CD pipeline. What is CI/CD? CI/CD is continuous integration and continuous development. Like this is again a scenario which is being used in agile model, and like people use it rigorously in the industry. So most of us already knows it, but yes, there are questions of like making like people like put up questions like asking if they need to put up the performance test in the CI/CD process. Yes, they need to put up the performance test in CI/CD process. How would you make sure that your system performance is not degraded after a change? So you should have a separate environment for performance testing, which should be same as your production environment. Yes, it obviously demands a lot of cost, and like you are required to like give up that cost, but you should go for it, and you should always consider your performance test in your current CI/CD process. And the last part is the APM, which is shift right for performance monitoring. So this is also very necessary. You should ask your performance tester to always be in touch with various clients, and like make sure you get the feedback and reviews, and like this is the way like you can make sure that you can like get the information on the weaker areas on the areas which are performing very low, which are slow from the user themselves, and then you can dig out, like performance engineer can see like why they are getting slow, and then he can recommend the developer team to make changes, and then at the end make sure that your system is fast.